Hello! Shall I do a little tidying? I didn't play the opening sequence, so now you get to see what I usually do during the opening sequence, which is to kind of panic that I've left whatever cast off scraps from the last video that I kind of tend to just move over here to the right of the screen. I tend to try a little bit to tidy them up, but this is what I do. I just move them over to the right so they're out of the shot. Yes? So hi, a little surprise. Well, it was announced, so it's not really a surprise, but unlike the normal schedule. That's the phrase I'm going with here. And I have the April kit ready to walk through today so that you can see what's in it. You can go shopping for new stuff if you want, or you can shop from your existing stash and pull similar items so that you'll be able to craft right along with me and be very productive through April. So if you're new around here, hi, I'm not showing my face today. I'm just doing nice, simple here, one camera today. So hi, my name's Shimelle. I teach online scrapbooking classes, design scrapbooking products, and help you use them to tell your story in a creative way. It's not just my hobby, it is my job. That means anytime I scrapbook on the internet or show you supplies on the internet, it's considered advertising. And legally, I need to make sure that you're aware of that. So thank you for watching my hashtag advertising, and I appreciate you being here. This is going to let you see what I'm using, and I will be then using it twice a week all through April to make scrapbook pages. And this is all 12 by 12 if you're new to Best of Both Worlds. And the concept of Best of Both Worlds means that I give you a shopping list, which is like buying a kit if you just added one of everything to your cart and checked out and had that. No more, no less. That would be like a kit, but there's no subscription, and it doesn't have to be add one of everything and check out your cart. So if you see something you really like and you know you'd use a lot, you can add more of that. If you see something that you don't like, or you already have, or you know you won't use, you leave that bit out. So you set your budget, you know your style, you can say, actually, she's gonna make 7 or 8 pages a month and I only make 2 or 3 pages a month, so I'll buy a small fraction of that. All of these things work, and the idea of it being the best of both worlds means that I pick stuff that I know will work really well that you might not have put together already, and I show you how to use it. So that's all like when you buy a kit subscription, but there's no subscription. You control how much you spend, you control how much you shop, you control how much you make, and there's no guilt, okay? Please do not invent guilt. There is no guilt here. We do this for fun. Right. April's kit is really colorful, and I'm very excited about that. Thank you to everybody who's here in the live chat already. Let's have a look-see. Okay. Oh, I think I did. I was going to say, did I separate out anything I added to my order that wasn't a kit? I just had a couple sheets of paper this month, and I think I did take them out, so we're all good. All right, so we will start here and go through, and I'll show you both sides of all the papers. I'll tell you the names and collections and give you some ideas for what you might take from your stash if you've got a big old supply of papers and things that you need to work through rather than buying new, okay? So we have got Paige Evans' Bloomin' Wild collection. Oh, it isn't bloomin', it's blooming. It's grammatically correct. And this is paper number 10. Pages collections, the papers always have numbers rather than names. So this is number 10, and a nice twist on a rainbow stripe. So I love a rainbow stripe. In fact, this is not the only rainbow stripe in this kit. But this time, each of them with a pattern. So something that you could use as one whole piece, one where you could cut just a certain part of the color scheme, or you could use every single one of these as different borders on different pages if you wanted to. So lots of versatility from one 12 by 12. So if you have a rainbow stripe that you would like to put in here, or a border page that you've been meaning to use and haven't, that could be a good substitute here. The reverse is a floral, and I love that this kind of makes me go, oh, is the lighting funny? No, it's not the lighting being funny. It's that there's this gradient across this floral. So the corners are yellow, the center is pink, and then we have this nice peachy orangey fade in the middle. But you could replace this with a small floral paper or a small any motif paper if you prefer. Yeah. Or if you wanted to ignore the pattern entirely and you've got a paper that's kind of like a color wash from an orange to a pink or something else like that, you could put that in instead. So sometimes if you're building from your stash where I've got one paper, you might have two papers because you're going to have something that represents this and something that represents that. Don't stress about it. Don't overthink it. Just pull out what you think is useful. This is number 6 from Blooming Wild, same collection, and it's rainbows, which we know I love. But if you look up close, every single little line in that rainbow has a pattern as if it is all stitched onto the page, which is very sweet and a lovely little twist that is very page. So I like that combination. So you could put in any rainbow pattern here if you want, or if for some reason you don't like rainbows, why are you here? Why are we friends? I'm not sure, but it's okay. I respect your choice to not like rainbows, really. But you could pick a motif that is very much you and swap that in instead of rainbows. Yeah, but I love a rainbow. B-side. It's kind of a lavender, periwinkle, cornflower blue kind of color. So a pastel with tiny little white flowers. I will admit I am going to be going for this more than this, but this is still a really versatile pattern. So you might want to leave patterns like this to the end of what you're picking from your stash and then go through and see what colors you need to pick up. So this same color is here in the pattern. And that way I know I've got something that matches that really colorful pattern because I've got a B side that just has a simple, mostly one color with a little, I mean, obviously there's some green in there and there's the white. But, you know, when I look at this, I don't say that's a green paper. I say that's a lavender paper. Okay? All right. So you could have a little B side that matches your colors. A cut apart here. This is paper number 1 from Blooming Wild. We've got some multicolored border strips here in the middle. We've got some small tags to layer in, and then we've got 3x4 cards as well. So if you didn't have this one, you could substitute in any cut apart that you want to use or a stack of 3x4 cards and some labels, maybe some border stickers. You could take things like that from your stash. This is a lovely plaid with navy and lavender and pink and aqua. So you could substitute in any sort of B-side where it's maybe a geometric like a plaid or a stripe or a polka dot. Because what I would tend to do is use almost all of these from the A side, but then if there's one of these that I won't use, say this one I'm having trouble thinking of what would I use that for, and in that case I might use the same size, but I'd use the B side. Yeah. This one, cut apart labels. This one's number 13 from Blooming Wild, and you could totally do this with labels rather than a pattern paper with labels, yeah? So I'm gonna cut this up to use individual pieces, but if you have a whole big stash of, say, like these are quite similar to Ellie Studio kind of labels, and Ellie Studio colors would go with this, you could just pull out a whole bunch of those die cuts if you've got them to hand. Or did you get the die set last month in March kit, which has this isn't the only die, this just happens to be the one that's still out on the desk, but it has label and tag and ticket type dies or a label punch. You could make your labels in any sort of way like that. Yes, the other side here, I'm probably not going to use, but it's actually quite a nice color to matte with. Navy is always really complementary to skin tones, a range of skin tones. So I really like navy for photo mats. And it's just softer than using something like black, but it's cooler and more rainbow themed than using brown, yeah? So it wouldn't necessarily need to be that navy blue, but if you wanted a navy blue paper that you've got in your stash put out with this kit, I don't think that's a bad idea. Okay. Simple Stories Flea Market. This collection makes me think of Cosmo Cricket, and that's a good thing. Yeah, I love this color scheme. So it's got the bright punch of hot pink and the bright punch of the turquoise and the lime green, but it's also got this olive green and a mustardy yellow, and it's got brown that I still like. I'm not huge. Oh, Kay says, I know this live is more focused, but just wondering if your affiliate link works if we go rogue and don't get the kit, but still want to give you credit for the order of other stuff. Yeah, you just click the link to get to scrapbook.com, and then anything that you check out with that day, I get a commission. It's absolutely no change to what you pay, but it helps support this being something that I can do as a business and not have to charge you for every single video that I put out. Yeah, does that make sense? So I have a balance of ones that I put out here on YouTube for free versus things that you pay for in classes, and you can always support the free stuff by using affiliate links. Thanks. Okay, yeah, so flea market has that kind of edge to the colors that's just feels retro. It feels that same, it gives me the same sort of feelings that the Cosmo Cricket did for the same sort of reasons, and I love it. So please don't be put off by the name, because there's a few times in here where it actually says something like flea market on the page. We don't even use the phrase flea market here, really. So we know what it means, but if I went to a market, I can't think of any market I've been to in this country that's actually called a flea, where like I've been to Brooklyn Flea and it's literally called the flea. So anyway, don't let that put you off, because we'll be using it in ways that are most certainly not scrapbooking flea markets. Yeah, cool. So this one is a camera print, and that makes me so happy. Did you just imagine the little dance I did? Because I did a little dance because I'm excited about a camera print. I love a camera print, but I love the B side of this too. So like shocking development, but I bought 2 of this one because look, pink tonal ledger paper. That's like my favorite thing to write on ever. So there we go. Cameras on one side. If you like camera papers, pick a camera paper. Yay. And pink or any other color that makes you happy, ledger paper, so that you've got lines to write on. Fabulous. Thank you to people who are talking in the comments that you say anytime you want to stock up on stuff that you use my link so that I get the affiliate cut. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. And I appreciate that choice. Thank you. Right, a cut apart from flea market. The camera print was called Tell the Story. This cut apart is called Journal Elements. Love this kind of tonal turquoise. I really like this font as well. Look at that! It's peach. A little bit of peach with pink. I like that. A little wood grain in here. But yeah, if you don't have this one and you want to substitute 3x4 cards, any other size journaling elements, you could do that. But there are some little ones as well as the big ones. So just keep in mind different sizes. Okay. This is really pretty too. A floral on a grid. And it kind of looks stitched rather than like actual flowers. So both sides really pretty there. You could swap in a floral or grid paper if you like one more than the other. So here's where I would say that sometimes you might look at this and go like zone right in on this one and be like, I'm not sure, or I don't really have vintage memories, or I don't scrapbook home. It's okay. We're going to use it in other ways because I don't really have any of those things either. But 4x6 cut aparts, and that means this paper is called the 4x6 Elements. A grid on the back, green and turquoise. Yeah. Yes, so you could use 4x6 cards that you already have that you need to use if you collect them up in a drawer. And if you do, I don't know anyone else who does that. Nope, never done it, never done it. Not exactly 6 inches from my hand right now. Okay. Doodlebug over the rainbow collection. How could I not? It's rainbows and I'm from Kansas. So I had to do it. Also, I have been in Wizard of Oz many times. My son has not been in Wizard of Oz once already. He's only 8 and he's already done it. And he's not from Kansas. So yeah, if you call it over the rainbow, I'm going to buy it. So it's here for this rainbow stripe, which is going to be the piece that's really versatile for lots of people. You can sub in a different rainbow stripe if you have that and want to use it. However, if you go for cutesy, this is ridiculously stonking cute. So it's like leprechauns and munchkins and woodland creatures and rainbows. Yes. All with little smiley faces. So I know that's not everybody's thing. This is the very versatile side, but this is the super cutesy side if you do cutesy. Okay? If you don't, that's all right. I'm not going to have like 5 weeks of cutesy. Don't worry. Cool? Fabulous. Oh, I did that the wrong way. That way. Then, same collection over the rainbow. Again, this side is more cutesy, but you could sub it with a floral that doesn't have ladybirds with smiley faces. I don't know why you don't want ladybirds with smiley faces in your life, but I'll allow it. Also, there's both pink and red ladybirds. I love this. Americans, we say ladybirds here in the UK, not ladybugs. And I just think it gives them this tiny little bit of elegance and also the humor that this teeny tiny little thing is called a bird. I love it. But this side is going to be nice and versatile for you, okay? Not just cutesy. So, a rainbow plaid on the diagonal. Now, if you don't have a plaid that you want to use, you could use a diagonal stripe to the same effect, okay? So you could find diagonal stripes that match the colors you've put together from your stash, and that would represent this page just fine. Okay. Back to Blooming Wild. Butterflies! I know, shocking. Shimelle's put rainbows and butterflies, but you wouldn't be here for things I love if you didn't like the things I love. That's what I'm going for. So each of these butterflies also look stitched. So it's like applique and embroidered butterflies with tiny little flowers. We like that. And then a pink tonal wavy pattern. It's not required to have a wave, so you could have stripes or anything like that. Yeah. Sophia is laughing because we have a B side with leprechauns, mushrooms, and it's cutesy, plus the Vintage Memories 70s text vibe. She knows that Shimelle will make it work, but it still makes me laugh. Now, tell me, if for those of you, who either were born in or lived through the 70s, do you not associate mushrooms with the same era of I feel mushrooms are very 70s. Yeah, I could put a mushroom here and it would not be out of line to me at all. I definitely feel like mushrooms and the 70s can go together. But I don't know if anybody ever really wants to know my thought process when I'm trying to put a kit together. Okay, 23. This paper is 23. Did I give you the number on this one? 1623. Bloomin' Wild. And a different take on a rainbow, diagonals, stitch marks, and little tiny flowers. If you don't have that fancy version of a diagonal, you could find whatever kind of stripe you've got. And a nice tonal paler pink B-side here. So although the patterns are not important, you could certainly say from your stash and go, I want one pink B-side that's brighter and one that's paler, like a hot pink and a ballet pink. Yeah. That's a phrase that still makes sense to people who don't do ballet, right? It's like the color of ballet shoes. Correct me if I'm just going along with that forever and I'm always calling it ballet pink and no one else knows what I mean, unless you also have had pink ballet shoes. I literally never thought about it until right this second that might not be what everybody calls it, but I call it that. Okay, and a cloud paper, all the things I love, cameras, clouds, yes. Okay, and so this one is from Maggie Holmes' Parasol collection. It has a pink floral on the other side. It's called Blooming, which is hilarious since the other collection is called Blooming Wild, and I've picked one paper from this collection, and that paper is called Blooming. Also, I love there's like a cloud pattern here, but you know how you can see things in the cloud? I totally see a brontosaurus here in the cloud. So when you get this one, I want to know. There we go. Kay's like, Doodlebug makes my eyes kind of hurt. It's okay. You can leave things out and substitute them. That's why it's the best of both worlds. Take out the things you don't like. Yeah? Okay. So a cloud paper, you may already have plenty of cloud paper, in which case you can put that in and not need to shop for anything. Yeah? Cool, cool. Right, and I told you already I got 2 sheets of this one. So there it is. Oh, I think I got 2 sheets of this cut apart as well. Yeah. So I've pulled both of those out so that I have two. I get to cheat. Right, then optional, well, everything is optional, but extra optional. I like adding in the petite print 12 by 12 packs because then you've got plenty of single colored patterns to use as backgrounds or matting pieces, that sort of stuff, and just gives you a color palette to work with. If you already have lots of single color patterns in your stash, then don't order this. Use what you've got. But if you need some boosting of that part of your stash, then these are a really great way to do that because they are very, very usable. So this one has pink, red, orange, yellow, lime green, and swimming pool blue. In fact, do I know all the Doodlebug colors? Their colors have names and they repeat through different collections. So this is Bubblegum. This is Ladybug. This is Marmalade, I think. Lemonade. What's the lime called? This is Swimming Pool. What's the lime called? Ooh. Let's see. The lime is, oh, it's just called Limeade. Then what is the yellow? Is the yellow not called Lemonade? Have I mixed that up? Limeade. And the yellow is, dun, 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 Bumblebee. There we go. So I wasn't perfect. It's all right. You'll let me off the hook. Okay, so either single colored patterns from your stash or a pack like this. Now, this is an interesting experiment. So scrapbook.com do this in their own brand, flat letter number stickers in maybe half a dozen different colors and patterns, well, mostly different colors. So these are all a polka dot. This is like a tonal pink, a tonal aqua, a tonal yellowy, well, the dots are kind of orange, but yeah. Okay. They are really inexpensive. They are not super thick. They are thin. And a couple people after I put them in the kit said they had them by coincidence and they all needed more adhesive. They were not great. I've had one sheet of them before and I didn't have any trouble. But I totally respect that there are things, and certainly if you're in a drier climate, your experience with adhesive is often different than mine because I'm here in the land that just won't dry out at the moment. So we're just going to approach these with caution. If that sort of thing is going to make you tear your hair out, then maybe get one or watch what happens for everybody else before you decide to. But they are less expensive than a lot of other supplies too. So maybe you feel like it's worth a punt. I kind of felt like it was worth a punt, so I ordered all three, but I never felt like you needed to order all three. Yeah, sometimes I just think I'll order one of all of them. Right, so we will see how they go. I have not unpackaged them, but I will be brutally honest with them as they go. If they start peeling up, you will see it. And we will talk about how to fix that and make a decision on whether or not we would ever order them again. Right. But yeah, I have had one sheet and they were just fine for me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have put them in. Okay. So let's see. Then, this is the flea market sticker book. I'll take you through that. So we've got household items, which will probably be the hardest page for me to use, I'll be honest. And a grid letter tile. These are squares. Are these squares or rectangles? I think they're squares. Yeah. A tile. Circles. I like that there's a record in there. More motifs. Now there's more home motifs here, but then there's a few that I feel like are easier to use. I know I'll use the globe without any problem. I know I use the cameras. Teacups are pretty easy for me to use, and suitcases. I don't know about this pink sofa, but I wish I had one in my house, but no. So we'll see what happens. Right. Phrases, super easy to use. Yeah. Tickets. I like that too. Do have a bit of American spelling here, but most of them don't have any spelling issues. Labels, tabs, nice and easy. Then that alphabet that I like as a sticker. The only thing that's going to be a little challenging, it has a white halo. So it's not going to look exactly as I imagine it in my mind, I don't think. I think I am going to have to kind of get used to working with it, or just putting them on white paper, white background might clear up that problem. Also like these teeny tiny hearts that they snuck in the gaps. But I'm excited to try and work with this font because I really like it. Okay. Some tags and corners. Picture frames. I would say don't pay any attention to what's inside them. If what's inside them speaks to you, then great. But what I will probably do is use them as a layer and put something inside that's different than what's already there. So don't freak out by something like that if it's what is in the frame that makes you go, that's not really my thing. Think about being able to use the outside, and if you don't like the middle, then you won't feel bad covering it up with more layers. And this is kind of cute and different than what we've had in other Simple Stories sticker books. So lots of different kind of twists on labels and like what you would label your garage sale stuff with. Yeah, and name tags. Hello, my name is so cute. Nice. And then plates. Again, I would say don't think of it too much as plates. Think of it as all those different shapes that you can layer. So that's how I'm going to use those, and that's quite exciting to me. Keep in mind that sticker books are thinner paper than when you buy sticker sheets, like a 6x12 or 12x12 sticker sheet, but you are getting more for the price. So it swings and roundabouts there. And enamel dots here. Now, I always pick some ink colors. I did not put a stamp or stencil in this time, but ink colors, we have got a hot pink, picked raspberry, an aqua, salvage patina, and a yellow, scattered straw. So matches the lettering options there. Also is a nice color scheme for Easter photos. So I hope that you will enjoy this. Right, any questions? That's everything that is in the kit. Okay, you're so lovely. She says there's 63 people watching and 22 thumbs up. So the rest of you, she wants you to thumbs up. I love anyone who gives me thumbs up. Thank you very much. Right. I was definitely a strawberry shortcake, Rainbow Bright, and Holly Hobby girl growing up. I still have, you remember how the strawberry shortcake doll smelt? One strawberry shortcake doll smelt unbelievably perfect to me. And I would keep her on my nightstand because I loved how she smelled. So it was like I used it like an oil diffuser. It was a plastic scented doll, but there we go. I wanted my room to smell like that doll. And then years later, Bath & Body Works had a flavor, had a scent that smelled like her. But it's not one that's always stayed in their collection. So you need to shout out if anybody ever sees them bring back Vanilla Walnut, because I tell you what, Vanilla Walnut was that strawberry shortcake doll. It obviously was not strawberry shortcake herself. It has to have been one of her friends, but it was perfect. Amy wants to know, how much paper tearing will there be at this kit, with this kit? Depends, Amy. How many times are you going to watch live? If you're going to watch live all the time, I might just tear lots just to keep you excited. Amy doesn't like paper tearing. It makes her nervous. It's okay. I don't actually plan things like the tearing until right in the moment. So I don't have a huge plan, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to. I had a Holly Hobby lunchbox as my first ever lunchbox. It was tin and wonderful. Oh, thank you for those of you who just gave a thumbs up. That's fabulous. Right, any other questions? So there's links in the description box that will take you to an itemized list of this, or right now, as this goes out live, the normal monthly list would also take you straight to the scrapbook.com site with a list. Now, some items are sold out at the moment. You can always use their oh, I don't know what it's called now, but it lets you know. There's a button you could say like, let me know if this comes back in stock. And the items in the kit sell, if they sell through, if they can get more, they tend to get more. So you can use that button. Yeah. And then, or the other link gives you just a list of individual ones and you can click to see any of them individually. And the new kit for May will go live on Monday. And Sarah's like, I think it's called the notify button. That sounds very sensible. Let me know. Notify is a far more official word for that. Succinct. Let me know. Monday's video will be a premiere. So I will be live in the chat, but it will be an edited video. So it will be recorded beforehand. So it'll be a little less random rubbish, but there we go. Right, Jackie says, can you see if the label stamp in the label stamp for March fits in the label punch? Well, let's see. So here's the stamps. So this is from March's kit. Do I have that punch where I can get right to it? I feel like I might. Or I might not. Hold on. I tidied up all the punches. You would think that would be the one where I would remember exactly where it is. But I kind of moved things around. Oh, here it is. I put it in a special spot. Okay. So let's punch one of these. And then give it a go and see if it fits. This is the EK Success punch that's been around a long time. And then that set of dies, so that one's going to be too big, I think. Yeah, it's the small one. Can you see me over here? I think the smaller one will fit. Yep. So there we go. Let's see. Hold on. So the smaller stamp certainly fits in that punch. Now, the bigger one, I'm going to try it the other way around just to check something. This is the bigger one. So this one, yeah, I would, okay, so technically, yes, but I would say no, because, look, you get extra, will you focus? Yeah, it's, the top and bottom lines are right on the cutting line, but the left and right are not. So I would say, this is a yes, this is a no. Obviously, all these little pieces will fit inside. Yeah. Here. Yeah. Okay, does that help? That was in March's kit list. Okay, so this is back to April. All right. Right. Jackie has the punch, but no die cutting machine. Makes perfect sense. Right. And I'm just going through. Elaine's like straight onto Maleficent. That's all right. I'm living dangerously. Yeah, okay, so any other questions before we go? But I think that's it. Lori says, your Holly Hobby lunchbox, was it cream with blue trim? She has it, yes. It was cream with blue trim and a little picture on the front, and I had a thermos. I want to say the thermos lid, you know, the little lid that became a cup, was pale blue, and the rest was cream. Yeah, I think that was my lunchbox for kindergarten and first grade. And then I think I got a new one after that. But I kept it. I know I still had it in high school because I really like, well, I still do. I love a tin lunchbox. And so I carried it as a handbag, like as a purse when I was in high school in the grunge era. So I had my Holly Hobby lunchbox with my big baggy jeans and flannels. Lori says the pale blue lid is right. My memory is right. Amazing. Yay! Okay, well, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for all the thumbs ups. And oh my goodness, Jolene had the same lunchbox and thermos too. I love that we all have a random bit of in late 70s, early 80s commercialism, and so many of us had in our same lives. Amazing. Right. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, let me know. Oh, and the other thing to do, if you've watched all the way to the end, and you want to leave a comment on the video, maybe not in the live chat, maybe think about it and then put it in the normal comments on the video. If you have a request for a topic that you want to see scheduled into April's videos, you know, like different things, like yesterday we did a grid. The last one is always what can I make with whatever's left. We've done hearts and circles and black and white photos and all sorts of things like that. If you have a request like that, put it in the chat that will be underneath this video. And then I will make sure I've had a look at your contributions before the first live in April and pick some of the things to go into the schedule. Fabulous. Thank you for joining me. Have a great week. I'll be live one more time with the March kit on Friday. So see you then. Bye-bye.